Welcome to week 2 of our strength training. So we're going to cover the same exercises, but looking at a way that we can just increase the challenge. So I've got weights. I know not everybody's going to be using weights, but in week 1, I talked about how you could use a resistance band or just working with body weight. Okay, so we're going to go into what's called a suitcase squat. Very similar. It's just that I'm holding the weights here as opposed to up on my shoulders. Into our standard squat, you're going to sit out and down. So you're picking up 2 suitcases and then stand tall. So we did it very similar in week 1, okay? And you're going to aim for 10 of these. But how about we add the calf raise? So last week in the first training session, we did them as separate exercises. With a view to progression, we're going to go into our suitcase squat, heel raise. So there's a little bit of balance, and we're just bringing in what's called making it a more complex movement. So we're thinking about combining 2 moves. I want you, when you go into your heel raise, to make sure that you don't lean forward. Use your abdominal muscles, your tummy muscles, to help you to balance. Okay, we're aiming for about 10. Now you might not go quite so far into your squat. You may go a little bit further than me. Breathing in on the way down, breathing out on the way up. Let's just do a couple more. And back up, all the way down, all the way up, and relax. So you're very welcome to repeat week 1, or as I say, this is an option for you to progress. Just going to give you a second option here, exactly the same thing, but come into your squat and have just a little pause, 3, 2, 1, then come up into your heel raise. Okay, so it's a little pause, 3, 2, 1, and come back through. So you're just pausing long enough to keep those quads, those big muscles at the front of the thighs, under load for a little bit longer. Keeping your back straight, watching you don't arch your back. Okay, we're going to do a second set here. So you may choose not to hold the pause. You may choose to keep moving all the way up, all the way down. And remember, the heel raise can be done separately. I want you to think about giving those abs a really good squeeze. Breathing out as you come up. Let's go for 3 more. Chest stays high, hips go low. And if you can get hold of some weights, it's really going to help to develop the strength in the fronts of the thighs and into those buttock muscles, those glutes. Okay, so that's our squats. You've got a couple of options there, or refer back to week 1. Now we're going to go into our lunges. So last week we were stepping forward into our lunge. Today, again, I'm going to give you 2 more options for how to progress. We're going to hold 1 weight in the static leg, and we're going to work with the opposite leg. Now, last time we stepped forward and step back in. Today we're going to go into a reverse lunge. Chest stays high. You're going to step back behind you and step in. Same side. Step behind you and back in. Chest stays high. Now watch that you don't wobble on that back foot. Think about keeping the weight equal from the ball of your foot to your little toe. Let's do another 5 here, and then I'm going to do a second round and give you another way to progress this. Again, with that weight to give you more load in your standing leg. Couple more here. Breathing out as you lift. Let's do that 1 more time. Reverse lunges are a bit more challenging because you can't see where you're going. Stepping forward is a more natural thing to do. So let's swap sides. And what we're going to do is add a knee raise. So just like before, when you go into your heel raise with the squat, balance from your center. So I've swapped sides, second leg. So I'm going to step back, come through and lift, return, same side. Step back, come through, lift, return. I want you to think about that alignment through your spine. So as you move through this exercise, watch you're not trying to tip forward and backward. And again, a lot of stability on that standing foot. Easier, I think, in trainers, safer in trainers. Okay. Let's go for another 3 here. But my goodness me, feel those glutes working on the standing leg. Great work. And again, progression by going into the reverse lunge. Let's just do that 1 more time. Coming back through, and lift. So of course you would repeat that again on each side. Ideally, you're going to do 3 rounds of 10. You're doing 3 rounds of your squats for 10, into your lunges, 10 on each side. That would be the best thing to do. Now, in our training session down at the track, we also did curtsies, which I didn't do in the video. So I'll bring those ones in now. Great for the glutes. Again, a weight into the chest is better, but if you haven't got that option, then just bring your hands up like so. All right, now hips stay facing forward, and we're going to step across, back knee towards the floor, come up and across. Now try not to lean. So the weight is going to give you additional load to push up against, but it's also going to try to topple you forward. So again, balance from that center. Now, we did this one, as I say, at the track, not on the video. So just do one more to each side. So we could do this one for round 1. And then for round 2, we could just do one side. So how about we just come to here, step back, same side. And what you could do is 5 and 5. If you feel that 10 is a little intense, there's 3. And especially if you're using a weight, it's going to make it a lot spicier. Straight away, side 2. So across, chest stays high, step in. Good, good, good. So you're really thinking about stability, balance, core control, gluteal strength, quadricep strength. Let's do one more here. Okay, so we've done 3 rounds there. We did 1 alternates, and then we had 5 on one side, 5 on the other. So we've done our squats with our heel raises. We've done our lunges and done our curtsies. Let's go into our deadlift. So really great exercise. I like everyone to do this one. Good for our posterior chain, the muscles down the back of the body, to give us balance and to give us strength through those hamstrings, again into the glutes. You will feel a lot more benefit using a weight for this one. And do you remember how I showed you in the first video of having a band under your feet? So that's an alternative. You grab a resistance band, make sure it's a strong one. You need to have something to really pull against. Think of a silverback gorilla, okay? That's the stance I want you to think of. Feet are parallel, and you're going to hinge your hips back. Now the weight or the band is close to your shins. Now, you don't want to go so far that you have to bend your knees. So if you get to here and you can't push your hips any further back, then you don't go any lower and you come back up because it stays in the hamstrings. If you start to bend your knees, it becomes a squat and it goes into the quads. So hinge back, take the weight in front of your shins, and then pull it back up. Now, if you can get a bit lower, all well and good, but that's not really what it's about. It's about trying to drive your hips backwards, keep the weight close to your shins, and pull it back up. Let me just grab the band to remind you. In fact, I've got a mini loop, that'll do. Little mini loop, okay? So I could put that around my feet, and from here, same action. Pulling down and then pulling it back up. So I've got exactly the same experience, but obviously I'm using a band in the place of using a weight. And if you know you're doing it right, you're going to feel the glutes, the buttock muscles, and the hamstrings. Keep those abdominals connected. Again, going for 3 rounds of 10. So you've got your weight or your band. Now, if you don't have access to either, then you can still do it, but you won't really feel the benefit of that one. So I would suggest trying to get a resistance band, or as I say there, a mini loop. Okay, so squat with heel raise, lunge, curtsy, our deadlift, really, really important, that one. And we're going to finish with our push-ups and then our dead bugs. So upper body strength and then strength through the center. Okay, so today I'm going to slightly change the push-up. All right, now if you're happy to go into your push-ups, you know what you're doing, you do a full push-up, great. Can I just say, be careful that you're not here. All right, stay strong. Think about always very slightly pushing into the back of your waistband, very slightly pushing into the back of your t-shirt so you don't arch your back. Now, the other thing is people want to rotate forward. So open up through the chest, rotate your armpits ever so slightly forward. All right, so you don't bring everything in like so, and you lose that shoulder stability. But we're going to do it slightly differently today. And we're just going to go for 5. Now we did 3 before. Let's try for 5, but let me show you how I'm going to do it. I want you to start in a straight leg plank, and then you're going to bend your knees to the floor into a 3/4 pose. Lower yourself all the way down. And to make sure you're all the way down, take your hands off the floor, and then push yourself back to that 3/4 pose, and then come into plank. And again, down, all the way to the floor. Hands come off, give your shoulder blades a squeeze. Hands go down, push up, knees off the floor. And again. So this is a really good way to build up to a full push-up, but make sure that your upper body, so the collarbone to hip bone, travels in line. Okay, you don't push your chest up and leave your hips behind. Let's go for one more. All the way down, hands off the floor, push back to a 3/4 pose and into plank. Okay, and then you might want to just sit it back. You could start again with 3, and I would say again 3 rounds of 3, 3 rounds of 5. Play around with it. A lot of people spook a bit at push-ups, but there's so many ways to adapt it, and you're just going to find what works for you. Last one, deadlift, one of my favorite sort of compound moves to hit the core. You might want to kick your trainers off for this one, but if you want extra value, leave your shoes on. Okay, now, hands to the ceiling, feet flexed, knees bent. Bit of coordination here. Improved coordination, better balance, more quality with your running. You're going to take one leg straight out in front of you and your opposite arm overhead. And then bring it back to the center. Take your opposite leg out long and the other arm overhead, diagonal. Bring it back to the center. One arm, opposite leg. Now make sure that your ribs are drawn down and in. You're not arching your back. Center and away. And center. Now, we're going to do 3 more on each side. Option to lift your head and shoulders off the floor. And can you stay slow? People tend to start to rush here because it's getting hard and they're trying to make it end a little quicker. Keep it slow. Breathe in as you lengthen. Breathe out to return. Keep it slow. Breathe in to lengthen. Breathe out. I want you to really suck those ribs off the front of your t-shirt. I want you to make sure the back of your rib cage stays on the floor. Back of your waistband stays on the floor. Come back in and then bring everything to the floor. And you're going to do that one again. Again, ideally 2 rounds. If you're doing this off the back of running and you're fatigued, then you will adapt it. But this is such a great exercise. It's going to hit the hip flexors, the quads a little bit, the abs, back extensors. But please make sure that you're not arching. So you keep the back of the rib cage and your waistband heavy to the floor, and it's slow. One arm, opposite leg, lengthen, bring it back to the center before you take the other 2 away. So avoid a sort of switching like so. Keep it slow and controlled. Greater duration. You're building endurance into those muscles in addition to strength. And follow all that up with all the stretching that I know you know very well. So as I say, I would encourage you to go for 3 rounds of about 10, apart from your push-ups that you may well reduce. But if there's anything you're not sure about, you know how to find me. I'm really happy to have a chat with you and go over it. But I really hope you feel that progression is working for you. Well done.